It's actually parallel to the preterite in Spanish. How many of you have studied the preterite in Spanish? It's pretty complicated, right? Yeah. So, in Nahuatl, it is a little complicated, not as much as it is in Spanish. Okay. Now, there is a tense form, section E, that means one who, similar to the English ER, right? I'm oversimplifying this, but take a look at this. Everybody, cuica, which means to sing. If you add ni at the end, cuicani, that technically is one who habitually sings, in other words, one who is a singer, right? So the ni is analogous to the er ending in English. Tlactoa, tlactoani, literally a speaker, and that's the title applied to a ruler, one who dictates the law, right? One who commands. That's the idea. Temachtia, to teach. Literally, the TIA means to cause, and then the TE is people, and then the mach, to know. Temachtia, to cause people to know. In other words, a teacher. And, I'm sorry, to teach. And then temachtiani, everyone, temachtiani is one who does this, what we call the teacher. Okay? I mentioned earlier that Nahuatl is Nahuatl, it's clear, it's understandable, and so forth. What does teacher mean in English? How do you break it down? One who teaches. That's about it, right? A lot of words in English, you know, unfortunately, because of the immense influence that Latin had on English, we have a hard time really putting the words together, how they're put together. The actual structure of English is in many ways similar to Nahuatl. English is Nahuatl, so that if you have something like the following, we don't have one here, a pencil sharpener. No, pencil sharpener. Does that make sense to you? Yeah. ER, something that sharpens pencils. Right? That's Nahuatl. What about telephone? We know what it refers to. Now, how's it put together? Do you know that by the mere fact that you speak English? No, you don't. You'd have to look it up, or someone has to tell you. It's actually put together from two Greek roots, right? Tele means in Greek, telos actually means far away, from far away, and phone means sound, sound from far away. But we wouldn't know that because we speak English. What about the following? Waterless, waterless. That's Nahuatl, right? It's clear. What about anhydrous? Anhydrous means the same thing. O-U-S, right? Having what? H-Y-D-R, the Greek word for water, on, having no water. And we have so many words like that we can't really put our, sink our teeth into in English because there's so much influence from Latin and Greek. But English does have that element of Nahuatl-ness in it, right? And Nahuatl is like that. Temachtiani, it's one who causes people to know. It's clear. It makes sense. Next one, tlamati. Everyone, tlamati? Tlamati. To know. Even there, the word for hand is mait. The root is ma. Mati, to become like a hand. What do you do with a hand? You grasp. And even in English, we have that little image, right? To grasp something, like use your mind like a hand. Well, in Nahuatl, it's very clear. We do have it in Spanish as well. Comprender. It's a Latin verb, comprehendere, which means to grasp entirely. Right? But Nahuatl is to become like a hand, to grasp something. And tlamatini is one who becomes like a hand. In other words, a knower. Have you heard the term scientist? Well, we know how it's used. But literally, scientist is what we call a participle that comes from the Latin verb scire or scire. Sciens or sciens, scientis, is one who knows. It's identical in meaning to tlamatini. Except that we don't know that, right? Okay. Any questions so far? These very general. Okay, nouns. These are easier to work with, and I think you probably get more out of this. Nouns end in TL, TL, I, LI, or IN. This is unusual because in English, nouns can end in anything, right? Boy ends in Y, girl ends in L, dog ends in G, cat ends in T. The only constant we have is that in the plural they end in S, right? Boys, girls, dogs, cats. But in the singular, it's about anything. In Nahuatl, a lot of them end in TL, TLI. L-I-N-I-N. So take a look at this. Siwa would be the stem, the root, and the TL tells you it's a noun. So everyone, siwat? Okich is the stem, TLI tells you it's a noun. Okichli? Masewal? Masewali? The LI tells you it's a noun. Mich? Michin. Fish. Have you heard of Michoacan? Michoacan, place of those who somehow are associated with fish. Okay. Place of the fishermen, as people say. And in the plural nouns in Nahuatl tend to end in H, M-E-H, or T-I-N. So everyone, siwat? More than one, siwah. Okichli? More than one, okichtin. Masewali? More than one, masewaltin. Now we take a look at section 3. The noun stem describes the noun that follows. It's very much like English, right? The important word here is the one that we're talking about, the one at the end. The noun stem simply tells you what kind. So everyone, atl and coatl. If you put these together, you take the stem of atl, which is what? A, and it becomes everyone acoatl. You're talking about a coat. What kind of a coat? An coat, water snake. You're not talking about water. You're talking about a snake. What kind of a snake? Water snake. Just like English. Not like Spanish. Because in Spanish, you would put the snake before, right? Culebra del agua or something like that. B, amoshli, kali, house or structure or container. But that's an excellent point. The next one, look at this, amoshkali. We're talking about a kali. What kind of a kali? For books, right? Amosh. So you drop the TL. Tepet, hill. Coyot, tepecoyot. What are we talking about, a tepe or a coyot? No, we're talking about a coyot. The last one, that's the one we're talking about. We're talking about a coyote. What kind of a coyote? De donde? From the hill. Now look at the next one. Coyot. Tepet. Coyotepet. Are we talking about a coyote here or a tepet? A tepet, a hill. What kind of a hill? You know the coyote? Exactly, right? Or maybe in the shape of a coyote. This is crucial, 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 crucial. It's the last word that matters, right? Not the first one. The last one is when we're talking about, the first one simply describes it, and it's the stem of the noun. Okay, section 4, the stem of nouns, it should be, describes how, where, when, by what means the action of a verb is performed. So for example, everyone, tentli, that means lip, cuica, to sing, tencuica, that means to sing how? With what? With the lips, tencuica. Conet, choca, conechoca. He, she sings how? Like a baby. So how would you say, I sing like a baby? I cry like a baby, excuse me. How do you say I? Ni conechoca. Ni conechoca. How would you say, you cry like a baby? Ti conechoca. And how would you say, he, she cries like a baby? Conechoca. This does not mean the baby cries. This means he, she, it sings like a baby. Next one, yaot. Enemy, miki. To die. Yao miki. This is a term that refers to dying by means of what? How? At the hands of your enemy in battle. Right?